What's up, Chris?
What's up, brother?
Let's see if I can get this straight.
I'm moving down into the workout area. Cool.
Fix that. So bright. I'm just way too white, I guess. Woo. What's up, Charlie? Let's see who's going to be joining us on a Monday. I think Brandon might stop in, he said.
Bitner's doing it tonight.
We had 10 people in there. Wait, why didn't
Oh, you got that?
let's see. There we go.
My dog wants to roll too.
There you go. Now's everyone's popping in. Woo. Give everyone a second to connect their cameras. Make sure everyone's set up. What's up, Luke, Alex, Lawhorn, Matt? What's up, guys? Unless we got jumping in. Another Andrew. Give one more minute. Timer. What's up, Jorge? Jason? Everyone's coming in on a Monday. Let's see. Cool. We're going to get started. Make sure you guys have your kick shields nearby. We don't need them right now. We're going to use them like halfway through probably. Yeah, like halfway through class maybe. For a couple drills probably. We'll see. Maybe Brandon said he might jump on, say hi. We'll see about that. And if this is my first time coaching you virtually. I'm Andrew. I normally teach the advanced class. Thank you for joining in. Go ahead on your backs, guys. Let's get warmed up. Leg circles. Which directions? Legs up and down. Legs side to side. Bicycle. Reverse. Hip bridges. Left leg only. Right leg only. Sit up. Windshield wipers. Up to your knees. Neck circle. Switch directions. Chin to chest. Chin to shoulder. Ear to shoulder. Wrist circles. Switch directions. Flex and extend your upper back. Hip circles. Switch directions. Switch legs. Switch directions. Alternating lunges. Feet together, knees apart. Walk yourself out. Feet apart, push yourself back. Take a second, stretch anything you need to. How many people we got? Nice, we got 15 people in here. Thanks everyone for joining. All right, let's continue just to get warmed up. Let's just work in our bridges. I want us to do bridge and roll. So we're gonna hit our bridge, making sure that we're using opposite leg, driving us up onto our opposite shoulder, right? We're not bridging straight up, right? Because if we had a guy on top of us, then we just drop right back down. So I'm driving, in this case, off my right leg, driving me up onto my left shoulder. I'm not pushing my butt back like I'm shrimping. I'm extending my hips, trying to displace weight. And then since we're doing a bridge and roll, like if somebody was on top and mount, I'm rolling them over. So I'm transferring the weight from my right leg to my left toes. You see how I'm turning my left toes into the mat? My left toes are down into the mat. I'm transferring my weight into my left toes and driving up to my knees. Once I get to my knees, make sure you're sitting back. You're not leaning forward where you could get taken off balance. You're sitting back on your heels and you have good posture, okay? And once you get here, you can do like a little sit through, right? Get right back to your butt and onto your back. So I'm taking my opposite foot, driving up onto my opposite shoulder. Notice how I'm turning my knee down. So my toes are digging into the mat here, right? My hips are extended. I'm not shrimping back this way. My hips are extended. I'm driving off my left leg, transferring weight to my right. Sitting back on my heels. Sitting back on my heels with good posture. Okay, this side one more time. And it's just gonna look like this. And do a little sit through, or you can work on a sit back, right? Like if you're trying to create space. Up to you guys on that one. Sit through or you can sit back. Any questions? Straightforward enough? Let's do it. 1, 2. Time, yeah. Circle back up. So that would be if somebody's like on top of you and mount, right? I have somebody on top, I trap an arm, I hit my off balance, and then I drive to the top position, right? Bridge and roll. Next one we're gonna do is a bridge and shrimp. This one's again would be from like the mounted position. We're gonna bridge to off balance the person that's on top of us. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our knee through our hands, right? Like if legs were wrapped around my body here, I'm gonna bridge up, off balancing my opponent, and then now my butt is gonna come back. Notice how my butt is still off the ground though. My weight is still on my right leg. My left leg is weightless. And I'm gonna take my leg through my hands. And then you're just gonna go right back, plant your foot, and you're gonna do a reverse shrimp back into position. So you're bridging up onto your shoulder, shrimp, replace, pull yourself back. Bridging up onto your shoulder, shrimp. Really make this connection with your hands. My weight is on my elbow and my shoulder, and I'm driving my knee through my hands like I was pressing on their leg, right? Now I go back, replace my foot, and I pull myself back into position. And you just go back and forth like this. Bridge, shrimp, reverse shrimp. Bridge, shrimp, back to position. I've done that one before. Any questions on that one? I'm going to give you guys a watch on that one, okay? Let's do it. 1, 2. If you're having trouble, just watch me. Make sure you really bridge initially, like we're trying to off balance the person that's on top of us, right? And then we hit our shrimp, and then we just pull ourselves back to restart. Bridge, and then we hit that shrimp, and pull ourselves back. Hit that initial bridge here, and then my butt goes back. I'm on my shoulder and my right leg, opposite shoulder, opposite leg, same way. My leg that's on the bottom is weightless. And I just put my knee through my hands, and it goes right back. So this is a lot of control. Be able to hold yourself on your foot and your shoulder. Try to keep your butt off the ground when you hit that shrimp. Taking your hand through your knee through your hands. Good job, guys. Keep it up. Keep it up. Let me see a couple more reps. Up onto the shoulder. Get your weight up onto the shoulder. Drive your hips off the ground and take that bottom knee through your hands. There you go. Good. Good. Circle up, guys. Now let's show the contrast of that with a shrimp where you're trying to create space, right? So this one, right, this shrimp is if, again, I have somebody on top of me. I'm trying to off balance them, and I'm trying to get my knee through the hole, okay? This would be like if somebody's in mount and I get my knee through their legs, right? So I can get my legs in front of me. The next one's if I'm trying to create space, okay? So this time, the goal of this one is I hit my bridge and watch my butt. I want to get my butt to the shoulder line. So this is where my shoulder is. I'm going to hit my bridge, and I'm going to shoot my butt back to where my shoulders were. So this one, the guy would be next to me, right? If I have a guy in side control here, right? I bridge into him to create the space, and then now I'm going to get my butt as far as I can back. I'm going to shoot my butt back to the shoulder line, and I have my frames. Theoretically, I would then throw my feet back in front, right? So I create this space, I bridge in, I shoot my butt back, and then I shoot my legs back in front, okay? So the difference between those is one, we're trying to create space to get our legs in front, like between him or inside his legs. And this one, we're trying to create as much space as possible between us and our opponent, okay? So this one, again, I want you guys doing the same thing, bridging, but the goal here is shooting your butt back to your shoulder line. And then you can throw yourself back into position, right? So you're going to bridge in, you're going to shoot your butt back as far as you can, and then you're going to pull yourself back into position. Okay? So slightly different goal on that shrimp. Okay? Give that one a try. 1, 2. This one will be what you probably traditionally know as you know, like a shrimp drill. If you're going down the mat, right, you're shooting that butt back. Shooting that butt back. Just add that bridge in and then throw that butt back. Add that bridge in and then shoot that butt back. Bridge, shrimp. Focus on trying to get your butt back to where your shoulders were. Reset if you need to get yourself more space. Right, this one's going to move you along the mat a little bit more. So make sure you move yourself around to give yourself space. Good job, guys. So I don't know if I've actually like shown those in contrast to each other before. So I know that can get confusing, but we use those shrimps for very different situations, right? You notice one of them, we're kind of in place. We're moving. We're not really getting our butt that far out. We're just trying to wedge our knee in, right? And there's another one where we're literally trying to create as much space as possible between us and our opponent. So I just wanted to kind of differentiate between those. So next, just to get warmed up, we're going to do some rolls. So just to get warmed up, I want you guys to do some toe touches. Not going to do those long, but go ahead. Just what you're going to do is you're going to take over your right shoulder, touching your right foot. Over your left shoulder, touching that left foot. I'm not that flexible, so I normally can't touch both feet, but I can always touch the one on the outside, right? I can always at least touch the one leg on the outside. Go ahead, start. Get your back warmed up a little bit. Get those feet to the mat. Good. Okay, yeah, circle back up. Now let's go in and go ahead and start working our back roll and our forward roll. So I'm going to hit my back roll up to top position, right? And I'm going to hit my forward roll like always pretend somebody's right next to you. We're going to do this drill like your opponent is right next to you in turtle, and you're going to roll into them, taking your legs over, and then you're going to catch them in your guard, right? And then we're going to go back the other way. And then we're going to, again, imagine somebody's next to you, going onto your shoulder, walking your legs your head between your legs, and rolling through, right? So kind of manage your space. We're doing forward and back just so you can kind of do this more in the same area, right? So you hit your back roll, and then you can hit your forward roll just the same way you just went, right? Really try to slow it down. Make sure you have some control, right? See how slow you can do it so you can kind of control yourself through the movement. Okay? And then once you kind of get the movement down, you can speed it up a little bit if you want. Okay? So a forward roll and a back roll. Let's do it. 1, 2. Good, guys. Keep it up. Keep it up. Good, guys. Circle up. So both of those were kind of warming us up. And I wanted you to focus on control because the next one we're going to do is a little tricky. Okay? What we're going to do, we've done this once before, but it's a fun little test. So like if somebody was like above my head, I can make contact with them and spin back into them. But in this case, it's a solo drill. So we're going to do a toe touch. And then we're going to grab the mat and pull ourselves back around. Does everyone see that? So I'm going from facing one direction to facing the opposite. I do a toe touch, and then I pull myself around facing the other direction. So you do a toe touch, and then you pull your hips around to face the other direction. So this is a real test of control. Toe touch, pull yourself around. Okay, I'll do a couple more. So it's the toe touch, my toes make contact, and then I'm pulling my hips in as I'm driving in like almost like a reverse shrimp. The finish is kind of like a reverse shrimp, pulling your hips in on the end, right? I'm pulling my hips in on the finish. So toe touch, pull my hips in to my foot, okay? Give that one a try, guys. That one's a little trickier. Take some control, okay? Let's do it. 1, 2. Good, good. Keep it up. Looks like you guys are getting it. Again, it's definitely a little trickier. Take some control. Toe touch and pull those hips around. Good. Good. Yeah, you guys are getting it. Keep it up. Give me some more reps. Okay, guys, circle up. We're gonna move through the next ones kind of quickly. Just some simple movements, and we're gonna just kind of build upon them. Okay. First one, we're just gonna do our two-handed scoots. Right. 2 hands, feet reach out, pull our butt in. You can go ahead and do like 2 forward if you have the room. Right. 2 backward. 2 forward. 2 backward. Just get warmed up with it. We'll only do this for a little bit. Okay. Go ahead and start when you're ready. 1, 2. Just get warmed up. Get those hamstrings engaged. Really focus on pulling with those heels. Really pull in with those heels. Good, guys. Let's move on to one-handed, right? One-handed is a little bit more complicated, right? Because we're taking an off angle. Want to make sure we're not chest high, we're chest low, right? We're hand up. The butt back feet come in, pushing the butt back. Now, on the forward scoot, though, you can do a couple small scoots, right? I'll turn an angle so you can see. What I want you guys to focus on, though, when you're going forward is a lot of times if you have somebody that's not engaging, just chasing after them, scooting, obviously doesn't get us anywhere. You have to be covered. You have to be able to cover distance dynamically, quickly, okay? Quickly with being dynamic, right? So I want you guys to focus on, I do this one a lot, is imagine a guy sitting in front of you and you want your feet to get inside position, okay? If I try to launch my feet up and I'm not looking to get my feet inside theirs, and my feet are just dangling out in space, they're just gonna throw them by and pass my guard. So what I wanna do is if I wanna engage a standing opponent, I wanna reach my feet out and I wanna pull my butt in and throw my butt into my feet as I shoot my legs out. Like that. So if somebody was standing in front of me, I'd be kicking basically with my instep, I would be kicking the inside of their legs here, and their legs would go out wide and they would be forced to drop to a knee. So you're using that instep kick to open their base up, and you can almost sweep somebody just with that movement. So you're gonna do your back scoot with one hand, and I want you to, you can do a couple small ones, but I want you guys to practice a couple big dynamic ones, where you're literally throwing your butt to your feet and kicking your legs out, trying to cover as much distance as possible. So you can do one scoot, and then launch forward and kick your feet, okay? Make sure you don't kick your camera. Make sure you don't kick a dog, don't kick a wall. be careful. Just do a couple of those. I want you guys just cognizant of that, right? Your ability to cover distance and engage a partner with the inside of your feet. Okay, give that one a try. 1, 2. Make sure you're working your right and left, right? Do right side, then do left side, right? Imagining you're launching your feet out and catching the inside of somebody's legs. Good, guys. Keep it up. Good, guys. Circle up. Now let's kind of combine that now with a hip heist. Okay. So when we're doing our one-handed, we always have the ability from this position. We're in strong base and posture where we can easily heist up to a knee or heist up to standing, right? So in this case, if somebody's, for instance, maybe we already grounded our opponent and they're on their knees, but they're not really moving. I can use the ability to heist my hips higher than their hips to threaten them with attacks, right? So if somebody was just down in front of me, right? You know, when you start on your knees or something, if somebody's just on their knees, I heist up to one knee, I'm now higher than them, right? They're gonna feel the need to also stand up with me to raise their hips. And when their hips come up, it gives me the ability now to go back underneath them. So we're gonna heist up and then imagine somebody sits between, we're gonna slide right back through the position. Okay, so we're just gonna do hip heist with a little dynamic finish there, right? So I'm here, maybe I have like a collar tie or something, and the guy's not really moving. I can't pull him in, I can't push him back. So I'm gonna heist up, right? This is gonna give me the ability to maybe start driving into him. He doesn't like that, so he stands up as well. When he does that, I'm gonna pull, like I'm pulling on a collar tie or a lapel, and I'm gonna shoot my hips underneath him. Do it a little further away. I heist up, and I just shoot my hips back in. I heist up, and I shoot my hips in. Like I'm pulling him on top of me as I go underneath him, okay? Here, going underneath. Heisting up to a knee, going underneath, okay? Give that a try, guys. 1, 2. So again, the idea is we're getting our partner to engage. Imagine somebody is very static, they're not really moving. We're heisting up a knee to try to entice them to move. And when they go to get up themselves, we're gonna slide underneath them. So we shoot our legs underneath to like a butterfly or some kind of position where we have our legs in between their legs and their hips, and we could elevate them if we wanted to. You can add some scoots in if you want. Heist up to a knee. Imagine they stand. Shoot the hips in. Good, guys. Good, guys. Circle back up. Same thing, but let's talk about what, like, if they don't move, right? So I heist up, and I threaten my higher positioning, right? If the person in front of you doesn't move, a lot of times you could probably like drive them back, right? If they're like leaning back, but a lot of times they're gonna, if they stay on their knees, they're gonna be like leaning forward, right, into you. So if they're leaning forward, we're gonna imagine that we're doing like a snap down. So I heist up to one leg. I have a collar tie or a lapel. I'm gonna take my right leg back, or whatever leg you have posted is gonna go back as you pull your hand down, like you're snapping down your opponent. Boom. And then you're just gonna go into like a front headlock. Imagine that you just wrapped up a head and an arm. And then you can stop there. Or if you wanna be like fancy, you can work a go behind, right? Where you replace your elbow with your knee. You start going behind your opponent and imagine like you're going for the back or something, right? So we're focusing more on the snap down. But obviously your snap down can go into all kinds of attacks, front headlocks, guillotines, and go behinds where you can start taking your opponent's back. So I'm coming up. He doesn't move. I throw my left leg back and I snap him down. I take a front headlock. Now I can go either way. All I'm going to do is I'm going to practice. Imagine whatever side you're going to, you have his arm trapped, right? I have his arm controlled. So I'm going to put my knee behind his arm and I'm going to go behind him. So now I'm beside him, and you can always switch your knees too as well, either way, depending on what kind of attack you're looking for. So we're just going to heist up, snap down, front headlock, go behind. And you can switch your knees either way on the finish, right? I heist up, pull my leg back, snap down to your partner, front headlock. Then you can practice going behind either direction if you want. So we're heisting up, snap down, front headlock, go behind if you want to be fancy. Any questions on that? A lot of visualization right now. A lot of visualization. Let's do it. 1, 2. Heisting up, he doesn't move, snap down, front headlock. Couple more reps, guys, a couple more reps. All right, time, guys. Circle back up. All right, we're going to take it onto the feet a little bit. Work some stance and motion. Okay, making sure that whenever we're in standing position, one leg forward, one leg back. I lead strong leg. You may prefer the other one, okay? I'm not going to get into which stance to use right now. Whatever leg you prefer, make sure your feet aren't like super close together like this. And when we move, we always lead with the leg on that side. If I want to move forward, I start with my forward leg. If I want to move back, my movement starts with the back leg. I make small movements. I don't make these big movements, stretching myself out. I also don't move to the point that my feet are close together. So my feet are close together. And I also don't cross my ankles when I move. Okay? So imagine somebody's in front of you. You never want to cross your ankles to your partner or pull your feet close together. So just practice a little movement, a little side to side, left, right, forward, back. Make sure we're not super upright. We don't walk like this, giving their leg up. We also don't want to be too low like this because we can't hold this for like longer than probably 2 or 3 minutes, right? We want to be sustainable. Nice middle range here. Lead arm is staying down, protecting the lead leg. We don't reach here. We expose the single leg. We probe with our back arm, right? Forward, back, left, right. Go ahead and start when you guys are ready. Just do it with me. Right, left, right. Go ahead, pick whatever direction you want. Just practice your movement, right? Practice your stance. Don't be too upright. Don't be too bent over. Make sure you're looking forward, right? Reaching with that back arm. Cool. Go ahead and throw in some level changes now. When I level change, I don't want to just squat and touch the mat. I want to drop to a lunge like I'm about to shoot. Okay? So I'm going to drop like I'm in a lunge. I'm going to touch the mat like I'm ready to dive at a leg. Okay? When we do a level change, we don't want to turn and squat. We want to lunge, facing forward at our opponent. Right? And you start speeding up, get a little movement in, make sure it's loose, flowy. Add some level changes. All right, now on that level change, let's take a single. So imagine you're toe to toe, foot to foot with somebody. Okay, we hit our level change, and I'm gonna go for the leg that's on the same side as my lead arm. I'm gonna now drop to my right knee. I'm gonna reach for that leg, and I wanna hit a spin on it. Does everyone see that? When I hit the single, we're gonna practice a sweep single where we're sweeping behind the leg. I hit my level change, I drop to a knee as I reach my arm out for my opponent's leg, like so, and then I spin. So I'm facing in the opposite direction. From here, imagine you're grabbing the leg and stand up with it. So here, I hit my level change, single, spin, lock the leg up, drive in, stand up with it strong. So you can hit your level changes. Keep moving with me. Go ahead and keep working while I'm talking. Right, level change, drop to the right knee, spin. Imagining we're taking that single leg. Level change, my lead leg drops down to the knee, my lead arm reaches out, and you hit the spin on the finish. Okay, so imagine it's hitting a low single on the guys down by the ankle. We're not coming in high, we're coming super low, and we're spinning on it. Locking it up, driving in, standing tall with the leg. Bye, Brandon. We didn't know Brandon joined in. Everyone wave to Brandon and say bye.
See you guys.
Sorry.
Sorry.
In the back there.
Daddy duties call. Gotta go. See you
Thanks
guys.
for joining, Brandon.
Thanks for class.
Keep it up, guys. Level change, single. All right, keep your movement. Now, another thing to add in, down block. So instead of level changing and touching our left leg down, we're gonna take our lead leg back and touch the mat, right? So they go to shoot on our leg, they went for a single on our leg, I set that leg back, I touch the mat, and I put my leg right back where it was. So you're moving, level change, down block, level change, single leg. This is going to get a good burn on your legs. All right, movement left, movement right, level change, down block. Kick that leg back and touch the mat, down block. Right, level change, single leg. All right, move on your own. I'm saying what I'm doing. I'm calling out what I'm doing. So if you want to watch, you can see what I'm doing. Level change, single leg. Stand up with it. Down block. Get some movement in. Visualization. Good guys. One more to add in. You know that down block? Go into a full sprawl now. I'm going to drop to both my knees, like so. I drop to both my knees. I can drop my hips. And when I want to come to stand, I don't just stand up, right? I pop my butt up and I circle up to standing. So you hit your down block. If he commits, I drop to my knees, right? Butt pops up, circle up to standing. We don't just stand. So now go ahead and move in how you want. Move in all together. Right? Down block. Level change. Down block, sprawl. Circle back up to your feet. Level change. Down block. Level change. Shot. Stand up. Visualize. This is like shadow boxing. It's like striking. It's like shadow boxing. Gotta imagine the fight in front of you. Changing levels in shooting, changing levels feigning. Hitting your down blocks when you see somebody shoot on you. Hit your sprawls when they commit. Drop to your knees and sprawl. Yes. You drop to your knees because they're really driving in, right? They're really trying to go after your legs. So you drop to your knees and you circle up. Good. Go ahead, on your own, guys. Keep it up. On your own, visualize, tie it together. Work on that movement. Try to make it fluid. Take your time, don't rush. Try to make it smooth. Level change shot. Down block sprawl. Cool, time guys, circle back up. Let's see what we got next. All right, go ahead, grab a drink of water if you need, and grab your grappling dummy or kick shield or whatever you're gonna use. Ugh. I'm gonna fix my camera. Just pointing down for you guys. Cool. Cool. We're gonna work some just entries, just some movement, super simple, just to kind of really just finish up. Some of these are probably gonna burn your legs and arms out a little bit. So just take your time, make sure you're doing it right, okay? I don't want to turn this into do as many as you can as fast as you can. I want to make sure you guys are kind of doing it right, moving through. Okay, so first one's just going to be popping up to knee on belly, right? So we're in side control. Either we're here, knees wide, and head and arm control, right? Like this. We come up to knee on belly. Maybe either they're framing, they're pressing us up. So we press our hands on them as well. I see how my toes pop into the mat. And I pop up, knee comes across, foot comes out. Okay? You go back down. Right? You can go 2 knees, you can sprawl 1 leg back, right? However you like doing it. Another way you can is you can put your forearm, one way I like doing it is I kind of cup across their hip and I put my forearm and elbow across like this. And so when I pop up, it feels awkward, but I slide my knee along my forearm. So if they were trying to like block me by putting their knee up so I can't come across their hip, I use my forearm to give me a path to put my knee on their stomach like that. Make sure your toes are down, you're sitting back on your heel. I'm not like leaning forward, I'm sitting back, right foot's out. I'm good base here, okay? And then just go back down, right? Popping up, sliding the knee across. Make sure this foot is out, a good base here. Making sure that our foot's not here like this, guys. We want our foot out. So if they're moving, we can follow. Okay? Go back down, pop back up. Okay? Go ahead, start when you're ready. 1, 2. Time, guys. Take a sec, switch sides. Same thing, but opposite side, okay? If you want to make it difficult, make sure you're dropping your hip all the way down. That'll give you like that real good like push-up burn. Go ahead, start when you're ready. Time. So similar thing this time, but we're going to do what we did last week. Do knee cut entrances. Okay? See if I can turn an angle so you guys can see. So your partner's going to have 2 legs coming out here, right? I want to make sure that I step over on the one side that I'm going to. So I should have, if you're doing this with a partner, they have 1 leg in between mine. I have 1 leg in between theirs. Okay? 1 leg here, 1 leg here. I'm going to step out. Hand comes down on the hip. Hand comes down on the knee. And we drop. Okay, again, I'm sitting back. Right? I have a bad knee, so I'll do the other side. I can't really sit too far back. But it's a split squat, guys. It's a split squat. So I'm stepping out. And I'm here. My weight is back on my heels. I don't even need that. I'm not putting my weight on the kick shield. That's more just a device to use to show us where we're at. Notice how my toes are engaged and my weight is back on my butt, on my heel here. Okay? I can hold this. It's a split squat. You come back, you come the other way. Right? I can do it really well on this side. I can't do the other side right now. I have a bad knee. But you're going back and forth though. Make sure you're sitting back. I split the legs, hand on the hip, hand on the knee. Here. Split the legs. Hand on the hip, hand on the knee. Here. Okay, this is the position you're finishing in. Right? Like this. Okay? You're going left, right. Boom. Boom. Split the legs. Drop. Split the legs. Drop. Okay? Now, for partners, you're not doing this right down the middle. You're doing it about halfway down the thigh. Okay? Your shin will be about halfway down their thigh. Right? So you would be more like here. If this was their body, you would be out here. Okay? You're not going straight down the middle. Any questions on that? Let's give it a try. 1, 2. So knee cuts left and right. Split squat position. Boom. Split the legs. Drop. Put out for base. All right, split the legs. Make sure your leg is back. Again, like knee on belly, make sure your leg is not posted in front of you like this. Make sure your leg is out. Like wide for base so I can drive off of it. Sideways. Split the legs. Drop. Leg out. Split the legs. Drop in on that thigh. Right? It's just the knee cut. You can slide that knee through to side control. That would be the finish. Getting there is the hard part though. So we're going to practice that entrance. Boom. Coming back. Spin the legs. Dropping. Let me watch you guys go. I want you guys to do a couple. Make sure, once again, sit back on your heel. Make sure your knee should not be on the mat. Your knee should not be on the mat. Good. Your weight should be all the way back on your heel. See, my knee's not on the mat. Takes a lot of control, but it's where you want to be, right here. It's where you should be finishing, on each side. All right, hand on the waist, hand on the knee. Should really feel like that's a squat, right? You're doing a split squat. You may get that leg burn. Work on that control. Get a couple more reps in, couple more reps in. You guys look like you're getting it. Try to sit that weight back on those toes. Sitting back on that heel. Good. So you got that control. You don't want to commit that weight forward. You commit that weight forward, they're just going to launch you. Good, guys. Keep it up. All right, that's time. Circle up. Next one, we're going to do kind of like a Toriando. Okay, it's Toriando footwork, right? It's the footwork, but we're going to like knee on belly, same way. We're doing a Toriando to knee on belly, and then we're going to turn and tackle the hips. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. So I'm here. I hit my side step. I throw the legs by. I step around, but instead of just hitting the turn, I'm going to stop. knee on belly. Okay? Now, when you hit knee on belly, though, people are going to be pushing into you, right? Somebody's going to be pushing me off. So for control, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn towards their legs, and I'm going to drop my hand down by the waist here. You guys can see. I'm going to drop my hand down by the waist. This arm's going to go over, and I'm going to act like I'm tackling. This is their hips. I'm going to tackle their hips. Boom. Like that. Right? And then you drop, secure the position. So I sidestep. I throw those legs by. I step around, knee on belly, and I drop. Right? From here, they're pressing off. So I'm going to place my hand down by the hip. I'm going to throw my arm over, and I'm going to drop my shoulder down like I'm tackling them, like I'm tackling their hips. Okay? From here, I'm dropping. Side step. I throw those legs by. I step around to knee on belly. I control the position. My arm goes down to the hip. This arm goes across, and I turn. Boom. Drop the shoulder. My elbows are tight here, and then I can drop and solidify the position. A lot of times I'll stay up on my feet. I'll just stay here, right? Driving my shoulder down into their hips, okay? There's a lot of pressure there. It's a good way to finish the pass, okay? So we're going around, knee on belly, boom, tackle the hips. Knee on belly, tackle the hips. Kind of like we're sprawling, dropping our shoulder on, okay? A little different variation of what we did before. I think we did this with like the Toreando. So I want you guys pausing in knee on belly and then doing it, okay? Let's go, 1, 2. Going around, knee on belly. Boom. Arms switch, drop the shoulder. Side step, step around, knee on belly. Block the hip, arm comes over, drop the shoulder. So turn your right arm. Charlie, your right arm goes down by the near hip. Left arm goes over the head, and drop your right shoulder right into their hips as you sprawl your legs back. Boom. Now circle around the head more, though. Circle around the head. There you go. Good. Get away from the legs. The whole purpose of this is we're getting away from the legs and tackling the hips, getting our butt up. When you finish, Chris, when you finish, get your butt in the air. Like you're spearing their hips. Knee on belly, turn, face the hips. Drop your right shoulder, Chris. Drop your other shoulder. There you go, good. And circle around the head a little bit more. Get away from the hips. Yeah, get away from them. Good. Yes. You should be almost north-south, guys, when you finish this. You should be up by the head. Your legs and hips your hips should be over their head, right? You should be pretty much north-south. Your shoulders should be like in their stomach, right? You're basically putting your shoulder in their stomach, and you're going around to the other side. You're going around the head. So you're turning and tackling the hips. Boom. Good. Good, Matt. Drop that other shoulder, Chris. There you go. Good. Circling towards the head. Good. Yes. Looking better, guys. We're trying to get away from the legs. We're getting away from the legs. We're tackling them. We're pinning the hips with our shoulder. Toreando, knee on belly, spin, tackle the hips. Couple more reps, guys. Couple more reps. Make sure you come in easy to knee on belly. Don't, like when you come into knee on belly, don't throw your weight at it. Make sure you're controlled. If you dive into knee on belly, you could get launched, right? We don't want to throw our body weight around. We want to have control. Good, guys. Good. Circle up. We'll call that time. go ahead. We're going to do some abs just to finish out, and that'll be it. We just keep doing what we did before. I like kind of incorporating. I want to incorporate these a little bit, just incorporating cross choke, submissions, right? And then we're going to work our triangle to get our abs engaged, okay? So first one, go ahead. You're going to cross your feet like you're in closed guard. Feet are up. Shoulder coming off the mat. Boom, reaching. Go ahead. Start when you're ready. You're in closed guard. Reaching up for those grips. Close those feet. Shoulders come off the mat. Reaching across. Really get those shoulders off the mat. Come up to an elbow almost. Good time. Take a second. Next one's going to be triangles. When we hit these triangles, though, we turn our hips with it. We launch our hips off the mat. We lock high, and then we drop our legs turning into the triangle, okay? So when I lock a triangle, I want to turn my hips towards the side of the lock, like that. So I launch up, I grab, I turn my hips towards the side of the lock. Launch up, grab, turn my hips towards the side of the lock. Okay? Go ahead, start when you're ready. 1, 2. Get those hips moving left and right. Use your elbows to turn you. Elbows on the mat help you turn. Time, guys. Take a breather. Last one's just going to be planks, right? Where this kind of plank is useful, right? It's making sure we can drive. When we do a lot of these, like the passes we were just doing where you like tackle their body, we're going to be tripoded up like this with our hip dropped. Okay, so it takes a lot of core strength, right? Holding yourself like this, driving into your partner, right? Right, so driving in and tripoded up, right? Planks got to help us keep that rigid body. Cool. All right. On your elbows or your hands, and you do hands over elbows, butt flat, butt not up, not sagging, just like this. All right. Go ahead. Start when you're ready. Time, guys. Go ahead. Fix your belts if you're wearing them. All right. Stand up. Ready to bow out. Good class, guys. Thank you for joining. Good way to start off the week. Whew. Thanks again, guys. Bow out, feet together. Whew.
Thanks, Bitner. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too, Luke. Thanks for joining, man.
Thanks, Coach. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
All right, Bitner. Thank you, man. Take it easy.
Thanks.
Thank you guys. Have a good one. Have a good evening.
See you, bud.
See you, Chris. Thanks for joining, man.
Thanks for teaching.
Of course, man.